Jeremiah 23 in the hood, shout out. I just got a word called ritual observance. That's when, in the book of Isaiah 58, the people, churches was packed. People were very religious, but their state had fallen to ritual observance. We suggest, because in Isaiah 58, it talks about giving to those in need. May we suggest from Jeremiah 23 and hoods over the next 10 years that you give like never before if you have the power to execute in your hand. And ritual observance was watching the show, watching, I guess, the priests. But observing to do and meditating day and night to practice and apply wasn't where the importance was. What was important was to show up, do the liturgy and the tradition, but the glory was gone. And Isaiah told him, like John the Baptist told him, John told him, you got 2 coats, 2 houses, 2 whatever you got, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, cut it in half so you can prepare your heart towards the coming of the Lord. And that culture, that would have worked. We're in a cutthroat capitalist society. I don't know if I can tell you that, but I can tell you this: as long as your heart is towards the poor and whatever you can do to help people, I believe you'll be blessed. In the deed, meaning your character, your true character will come out how you were made to function. God so loved, he gave. And then you go back to Isaiah, and we look at him, he telling them, bring them in your house and feed them. And quit speaking your own words, and the glory of God may turn back. Look at through the key of giving, though, how it could bring back revival, how it can bring the glory on the scene. So if we're only thinking of taking, like the business people, the capitalists, always taking, right? Then you're going to exploit. You're not looking for ways to give, help. And we can go down to scripture, Deuteronomy 14:15. You know where I'm going. Open your hand wide. 15:14. They had tithes for the poor. Whole 9:26. Deuteronomy 26. And we can go on and so forth. Malachi 3:10, 2 Corinthians 8 and 9. Those are good reasons scripturally to give to the poor. So if you want to see the glory of God, try this. Over the next 10 years, create ways, critique your own systems and ideologies, okay? Get your best critical minds and make it of excellence. And then your creative minds to make it better. And you make it better. However it go, remember that the whole key is the alignment with these stars and trees is to be able to think like them. Does that tree charge for that oxygen? And how much do the birds pay? And what about the ants? How much is their rent? And I don't see any of the things homeless that God created. This is true alignment. So it's giving back how much it charge you for your breath. So let everything have breath. Give God praise. 2 Corinthians 9 says this administration not only gives multiple praises to God when you minister to the necessity of your brethren when they're in trouble, but also they glorify God of your sincerity of the proof in the gospel. In other words, there have been a lot of fakers and exploiters, and a lot of people have capitalized off of the poor in the name of the gospel. But this is the real deal. Here it is. Paul didn't say, my God will supply all your need to them. Him and Titus and the brethren went down there and what? Took him some money and said, now your need is met. Yeah, he said it to the other church that gave him something. However, he was determined because he was happy when Titus showed up and he was sorrowful when he didn't. You dealing with a group of people. Titus had the reputation. He wanted to make sure that his persecutors of telling people he was preaching for money was well taken care of by having witnesses with him when they take that money to them Jews in Jerusalem before all the apostles and his apostle ship was on the line of his integrity. Those men were willing to die, and they did. They were not chasing fame, fortune, and wealth. They were willing to die. And whatever proclivities was moving in that area, the Spirit of God put it to death. So, if we can't give in the little, how will we be ruler over that which is true riches? Come on now. We're only stewards. This stuff is temporal. Hold your breath, said the tree. Just like that, that stuff don't mean nothing. So, over the next 10 years, let's gather. Let's be ready to give in whatever way the Spirit of God leads you. Jeremiah 23 and hoods, you are loved. God bless.